going to be about?
My book haul. And how I lied about I wasn't going to get that many new books every month. And I did.
How many?
Hi BookTube, it's Kim at K. Becker's Books, and this is hopefully what you'll consider a small book haul. I know, I already said in another video that my project was to read more books from my shelves, and I have been, I really have been. It's just I have bought some books this month already, and I'm keeping the cost down. That's the most important thing for me in my budget. And I've unhauled at least 40 books, believe it or not, things that I've already read and didn't like, or things that I'm not interested in reading anymore. So I've given away and donated a lot of books. That said, here we go. This is what I consider a small book haul. Let's see. And again, you know what I wanted to do was also let you know kind of the general ballpark, what the cost of these books are. Yes, I know I'm touching my nose. Because I am very hyper aware of my budget, and I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money buying books. I don't think I should, and I don't have to. And neither do any of you. If you enjoy reading and love to collect books, which I do, I pay attention to what I'm spending. So I'm gonna kind of note that as I go through these. So let's see, I'll start with this one. This came from Book Outlet, and Book Outlet prices are amazing. I think I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 of these books from Book Outlet, and the average was about $5 a piece. This one is The Daughters of Temperance Hobbs by Catherine Howe, and she wrote the physic book of Deliverance Dane. I think this is a sequel. I'm going to read a little bit of the jacket. Let's see. Connie Goodwin is an expert on America's fractured past with witchcraft. A young tenure-track professor in Boston, she's earned career success by studying the history of domestic healing arts, home recipes and medicines, and the women fluent in those skills. But beyond her studies, Connie harbors a secret. She is the direct descendant not only of Deliverance Dane, a woman tried as a witch in Salem, but of an entire bloodline of women whose abilities were far more magical than the historical record shows. Ooh. Okay, sorry. New York Times bestselling novelist Catherine Howe returns to the beloved territory of her first book with this bewitching story of a New England professor who must race against time to break a family curse. New England, professor, witchcraft, Salem, Mass. Yes, I am in for this one. The next one is a nonfiction. It is Priest Daddy by Patricia Lockwood, and I was immediately fascinated by this one. It's one of the 10 best books of 2017 by the New York Times Book Review, one of the 5 best memoirs in 2017 from the Washington Post, and one of the 10 best books of 2017 from New York Magazine. And this one says, Father Greg Lockwood is unlike any Catholic priest you've ever met, a man who lounges in boxer shorts and loves action movies. His daughter is an irreverent poet who long ago left the church's country. When a crisis leads her and her husband to move back into her parents' rectory, their worlds collide. In Priest Daddy, Patricia Lockwood interweaves key moments from her deeply odd religious upbringing with scenes that chronicle the adventures she and her husband had in her parents' household after a decade of living on their own. Pivoting from the comic to the sublime and exploring issues of belief, belonging, and personhood, Priest Daddy is an entertaining, unforgettable portrayal of how one balances a hard-won identity with the weight of family and tradition. Every time I read one of the jackets or one of the backs of these books, I just want to keep reading, so sorry if I'm pausing. The next one is another nonfiction, and it's a book that I read years ago and wanted to get a copy again to read again because I absolutely find this topic fascinating and really wanted to read more of this history. It's Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee by Dee Brown. And the subtitle is An Indian History of the American West. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee is D. Brown's eloquent, meticulously documented account of the systemic destruction of the American Indian during the second half of the 19th century. A national bestseller in hardcover for more than a year after its initial publication, it has sold almost 4 million copies and has been translated into 17 languages. Now, just for context, this was published in 1970. 1970. So it's written 49 years ago. I'm still fascinated with the topic, want to learn more about our history, our country's history, more about Native American history. I will continue to do a lot more reading in this because I just find it interesting and important to know the origins of the people that lived here before me and the origins of our country. The next one, oh my gosh, I think it's another nonfiction. This is a bonus. And it's also a cover by, I have to admit. This is called No Better Friend by Robert Weintraub, and the subtitle is One Man, One Dog, and Their Extraordinary Story of Courage and Survival in World War II. I know, it's a cover by with a cute animal on the cover. I love these. This one is flight technician Frank Williams and Judy, a purebred pointer, met in the most unlikely of places, a World War II internment camp in the South Pacific. Judy was a fiercely loyal dog with a keen sense for friend and foe, and the pair's relationship deepened throughout their captivity. She survived bombings and other near-death experiences and became a beacon not only for Frank, but for all the men who saw in her survival a flicker of hope for their own. This is going to get me, I can tell, but I'm dying to read it. This one has been all over BookTube, and I've seen nothing but positive, wonderful reviews about this. And let's see, I'm going to look at the published date. And this was published in 2019, so last year. T. Kira Madden's Long Live the Tribe of Fatherless Girls. Let me read a little bit of the blurb. This open, defiant memoir is the long-awaited daughter of Dorothy Allison's bastard out of Carolina. Madden captures the dangerous longings of a perilous girlhood with prose so vivid and sensuous we feel her post in our bodies. Acclaimed literary essayist T. Kira Madden's raw and redemptive debut memoir is about a coming-of-age and reckoning with desire as a queer biracial teenager amidst the fierce contradictions of Boca Raton, Florida, a place where she found cult-like privilege, shocking racial disparities, rampant white-collar crime, and powerfully destructive standards of beauty hiding in plain sight. She lived a life of extravagance, exclusive private school, equestrian trophies, designer names, but under the surface was a wild instability, the only child of parents continually battling drug and alcohol addictions. Sounds amazing, and I've also seen it reviewed on other channels, and something I was really interested in, so definitely looking forward to that one. The next one is the second in a series or a topical series. This is Genevieve Cogman's The Masked City, and it's an Invisible Library novel. I have the Invisible Library already. This one I found in a local thrift store for $4, and I buy used books pretty often, and I usually look for ones that are in really great condition. This one is almost brand new. It doesn't look like it's even been cracked open. Working in an alternate version of Victorian London, librarian spy Irene has settled into a routine, collecting important fiction for the mysterious library and blending in nicely with the local culture. But when her apprentice Kai, a dragon of royal descent, is kidnapped by the Fae, her carefully crafted undercover operation begins to crumble. If you title a book with the word library in the cover, and this one is an Invisible Library novel, part of a series, you're guaranteed that I'm going to buy it. So yeah, I gave my money for that one. This one I found at a local Goodwill for $5. And again, it's in almost brand new condition. It's a hardcover with deckled edges, and this is the third in a trilogy, I believe. Hold on, let me look. Yes, it's the third in a trilogy and a conclusion to Margaret Atwood's speculative fiction trilogy. I always have a hard time with that word, speculative. This is Mad Adam, and I have the first two, which is Oryx and Crake and The Year of the Flood. I have those in paperback, and I haven't read either yet. This one is in hardcover, and now that I found it in such great condition, I'm going to look for the other two in hardcover at a good bargain price. I don't really want to read any of the description because it is the third book in a trilogy. So I think I have another project that I'm going to be doing that I'll let you guys know of shortly, not right away. But what I'm working on right now is cataloging my books because I have something I want to do once I know how many books I have of each author and what I have. So really good book. I like Margaret Atwood, even though The Testaments was disappointing and disappointed me, but I picked this up. I think I mentioned that I discovered the New York Review of Books publishing house. I went on their website and my cart is filled with books. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy them right now. I'm going to keep them in there. But I just read The Door by Magda Szabo, and that was a New York Review of Books version. I just acquired two more. And this one is Sylvia Townsend Warner's The Corner That Held Them. And I think I just got this the other day. Let's see. Sylvia Townsend Warner's The Corner That Held Them is a historical novel like no other, one that immerses the reader in the dailiness of history, rather than history as the given sequence of events that in time it comes to seem. Time ebbs and flows and characters come and go in this novel, set in the era of the Black Death, about a Benedictine convent of no great note. The nuns do their chores and seek to maintain and improve the fabric of their house and chapel and struggle with each other and with themselves. Absolutely. I love reading novels and fiction set in churches, set with characters who are priests and ministers and nuns and religious people. I just love it. I love novels with themes of that sort. So this one sounded really good. I love the formatting of these books, how they're published. I absolutely love the material, how the book is put together, and I love the artwork on each of the covers of these books. It's very original. This one is called The Ruins of Castle Acre Priory Church, 1780 to 1820 from the British Library. I really love the art on these books and really thought this one sounded good. The next one is The Seventh Cross by Anna Segers, again, another NYRB book. This one, oh, hold on. This one is translated fiction, translated by Margot Bettauer Dembo. And let's see. This is, I want to give this the credit that it needs. It's translated from the German by Margot Bettauer Dembo. Anna Segers, The Seventh Cross. The Seventh Cross is one of the most powerful, popular, and influential novels of the 20th century, a hair-raising thriller that helped to alert the world to the grim realities of Nazi Germany, and that is no less exciting today than when it was first published in 1942. 7 political prisoners escape from a Nazi prison camp. In response, the camp commandant has 7 trees harshly pruned to resemble 7 crosses. They will serve as posts to torture each recaptured prisoner, and capture, of course, is certain. That sounds so good. Definitely looking forward to that. And then I rejoined Book of the Month Club. I canceled my membership after several months and let it lapse for a few months. And then I actually went back and they gave me a free book. So I ended up buying 2 books for $10. And the first one doesn't really need much of an introduction. This is Things in Jars by Jess Kidd. I also have Jess Kidd's books himself and Mr. Flood's Last Resort, and I think in the UK it's called The Hoarder. Things in Jars is Victorian London comes to life in this spellbinding mystery as an intrepid female sleuth wades through a murky world of collectors and criminals to recover a remarkable child. I don't need to read any more than that to know I can't wait to get to this one. And the last one, yes, it's the last one. I got sucked in. I got sucked into the hype. Forgive me, but I couldn't help myself. This is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And I saw this in the store and loved the cover design and everything. And it popped up on Book of the Month Club, so I got it. And again, it doesn't need much introduction. This is the mesmerizing adult debut from Leigh Bardugo, a tale of power, privilege, dark magic, and murder set among the Ivy League elite. Again, I'm not going to read any more than that because this has been well described multiple times on BookTube. But again, set in a university, dark magic, something to do with libraries and books. Definitely gonna read this one and add this to such a great pile of books that I hauled. Now, if I'm gonna add up dollars, I'm gonna say for how many books do I have? 11? I think I have 11 books here, and I think I spent $60 on all 11. That's pretty good, and I definitely went over my budget for January because in one of the last videos when I talked about this project that I wanted to take part in, and this is something from other booktubers videos, and I'll link those below, about reading from your own shelves. I continue to do that, but I set a budget for myself of $40 a month. And yes, $60 is more than 40. So, and I'm not sorry, not at all. So hopefully any of these books looked really good to you. If you've read them, and you may have because they're not all new releases, but put that in the comment below and tell me what you thought. Don't give me any spoilers, but tell me if you liked any of these books, if you plan on acquiring any of them. Subscribe and comment below, and let's have a conversation about any of these. Tell me what formatting of books that you like. I love the New York Review of books. I love hardcovers with deckled edges. I love anything with deckled edges pretty much. So tell me what you like and what you enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.